And from here on, if you can listen to what I say, no need to react, no need to speak back, just follow my instructions. And I hope what we do tonight will be something that you can take with you into your daily lives. I hope that what we do now will be of help to you as a daily, perhaps a daily or a weekly practice, if you can give your time to it. Right now, my friends, I want you to be aware, if you will, of each breath that you will breathe. Each breath that you take in and each breath that you take out, you exhale. Be aware of it. And in doing so, try to feel that breath as it touches you on the way in, as you breathe in, and try to feel it as it touches you on the way out, as you breathe out. If you can do that for me. Each breath naturally in is the essence of life entering your being, the physical aspect of your being, the vehicle in which your spirit, your soul, your being, your consciousness, whichever you wish to call it. Your body is the vehicle. The all-giving life force, the fuel for that vehicle, is the air around you and your breath. So as you breathe in, feel the breath, feel the life entering you. And as you breathe out, don't feel life leaving you. No. As you breathe out, you are breathing out the gas of life for so many other beings on your planet. The trees will breathe, so you will give the gas of life. You are creating life for another sentient being on your world. The humble tree, the plant. You are breathing in life and you are exhaling life. You are breathing in the gas of life which was given to you by nature around you. From the tree and the plants comes your oxygen, and from you comes their oxygen, their life gas, if you like. You complete a circle, a natural circle, through which the life force, the gas of life is given, received, recycled, reprocessed, and given back. You give, they give, and you do it all day, every day. Each breath in of the gas of life for you, and each out breath is the gas of life for those who giveth your life gas. So you breathe in, take in, and then you let out. And in between all of this automatic process every day, as you're breathing in now as I speak, and breathing out again as I speak to you, and you are aware of the gas of life touching you, your vehicle, which you temporarily are housed within. But it's only temporary. Your body one day will return to the ground, if you like it will stay within the confines of this little smear of vibration that you are temporarily experiencing. But for now, this gas will keep your vehicle moving. Your exhaling will keep the very creation of the tree and the plants alive, to keep giving to you. Yes. And as you feel that breath in and that breath out, as you feel it touch you, know that that touch is merely the interaction of a trillion particles that make you who you are. And those particles are changing all of the time. You feel you are the same person you always have been. I'm the same person I've always have been, but you're not. For a trillion particles have changed and died and reborn as new a trillion times. And yet that breath that touched you and still touches you on the way in seems to be the same breath. But that too is new. That too is different. The key to life, my friends, as you breathe in and breathe out, one wonderful realization that you'll come to is that everything in your life is impermanent. Nothing is permanent. Everything is changing. Always changing. Even you. Every animal, every aspect of your life and your world is impermanent. The nature of humanity, not so much humanity, but the nature of the brain of humanity, which is not the same as humanity. The brain is a different animal altogether, like a wild creature. But your habit is to try to stop the change, to try to prevent impermanence from happening. But your world is impermanent, always impermanent, always changing. You can't prevent change, not entirely. What you can prevent are those who are instigating the change. But the change itself, you can't stop once it happens. If it is nature, it is nature. You can't change that nature. You can influence it for a while, but you can never change it, not entirely. Like your breath, and your breath in and your breath out. You can't change it. It is there, permanent. Same, the breath out. The tree can't change it either. And yet, the world now is going through a great change. On the surface, you see this structure, these people you consider or have been brought up to consider are your leaders, that they are in charge, that they have your interests at heart. But these are just a construct, my friends. Like the chair that you sit upon, the walls in which surround you right now, they are a construct, they are man-made. They are not of nature. They were put there by a person's design and with a purpose to to benefit people who have occupied this room or who choose to sit upon the chair. It's not natural. But what is natural is the change, and I assure you, a wonderful change that is taking place for many people right now, and it has been coming for a long, long time, my friends, long, long time. And that change is in the consciousness of people. And like the breath, consciousness is untouchable. You can't change the breath. It's impossible. It is natural. It is life entering you. And consciousness is the same, my friends. It is your life force. It is part of you. It is your eternal and an aspect of your eternal self. And many people are closed off from their consciousness and have been for a very long time. Many people have been turned off from their consciousness. It's been there, it's doing its job, like your breath, which only right now are you aware of. And momentarily you keep losing your concentration of your awareness of your breath. During my moments of chatting, your mind has wandered into my words or somewhere else, and momentarily you forgot about the breath that I asked you to watch. But that's fine, for the breath continues to work. The breath is always there, as is your consciousness, whether you are aware of it or not. It is always trying to communicate with you. And sometimes you hear it and sometimes you don't. There is also the consciousness of those trees that I spoke about, and the animals in your world, their consciousness. And just like the tree, if you consider yourselves, each of you, as a little bud at the end of a tree, at the end of the branch, at the stem of the little twig, and if you can consider each one of those buds as being a person, or a being, an animal, a conscious, living being within your world, you will see that you all come back to the same trunk that goes down to the same soil, and then the roots divide off again in all directions, drawing in and putting out. And that, my friends, is the world you're living in now. And that consciousness, each of those buds coming back to the same trunk and going into the same earth, soil, is just a representation of your consciousness. Your consciousness is individual, belongs to the same branch, and eventually you all belong to the same trunk. Your consciousness, which many of you are starting to truly hear and feel. There is a change for others. They are yet to understand it, my friends. They are yet to understand it, but they will. Yes, your world seems dark. I agree. Yes, we've been continually correct about so much. It is true. But what you are experiencing is the impermanence of life. What you can change are other people's actions. What you cannot change is the natural cause. What you need to understand, my friends, is the natural cause. The natural cause is for your consciousnesses to rise, to become more active in your way of living. And that is happening naturally, not just you, but for all. people who run your world, and I'm sorry if people disagree. There are people who run your world. They don't want that to happen. They know it is coming, and they know it is going to happen, and they are trying to fight nature, and they can't change it. They may be able to stem its flow for a short time. They may be able to influence it a little, but they can't change it. Now you may have thought that I was going to tell you that there is nothing you can change, that you can't change what is taking place in your world, but you can. It is them, those people who consider themselves far grander, far wiser and higher. It is they who will fail here, my friends. They rely on you doing as you're told, but consciousness is rising everywhere, and they can't stop it. The greatest thing you can do right now is to learn to raise your consciousness to the highest possible degree. And the way in which to do this, my friends, is to not try to raise your consciousness, but allow nature to take you where you need to go. And the first place you must go, my friends, is into your breath, the giver of life. Yes, so as you breathe in, know you are breathing in life itself. Know you are breathing in consciousness. You are feeding your consciousness. And as you breathe out, you are giving the life-giving gas to other conscious beings who will benefit from this. As you breathe out, you are giving back with every breath out. And with every breath in, you are receiving from those conscious beings. As you do this, know that you are within a very fine frequency called light. You live within the world of visible light. There is it is nothing more than a smear of a frequency, and yet your world seems so vast, so expanded and wide and broad in all senses. Your cosmos out there, your space, your universe seems huge, and yet it's all within a smear of a frequency, a narrow little band. And that should tell you all you need to know about everything else there is beyond your frequency. The key to connecting your consciousness is through your breath, my friends, the giver of life. Learn to focus on your breath. Let your breath be your thoughts. Let your breath be your teacher. Let truth come in upon your breath, in each time. Know that on every breath in, your consciousness, the aspect of you that is eternal, with each quiet breath, each aspect of your eternal self will be felt just that little bit more, will be heard that little bit more. In time, you will begin to get those thoughts and feelings that you just know are right for you to follow. And know that as your consciousness rises, so Many other people's consciousnesses are also trying right now to rise. And it will happen, my friends. It has to happen. It can't not happen. For it is nature. In itself, it is nature. Those who are trying to prevent it cannot prevent that nature from taking place. Yes. So, relax. As I observe the colours of the room, I see one person's colours who changed immediately as he leapt from his chair. Paul. Yes. Did you jolt a little there, Paul?
Yes.
Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
So, my friends, consciousness all over the world is rising and rising. As one of your great philosophers once said in your world, the truth vibrations are coming, and they are. Consciousness will rise. So, my friends, when you go into your world from here, how you interact with it, always be aware of your breathing. When people annoy you, the first thing to change will be your breath. When people praise you, the first thing to change is your breath. The breath is the teller of everything. Each day, if you can spend some quiet time in your breath, allowing your breath to enter so you can feel it, you will indeed be helping your consciousness to rise. You don't need to visualize a prophet. There is no need to visualize a great light or a being on a cloud or some great guru or messiah. Superstition belongs far, far away from what you're doing. You're going beyond the superstition of your world, my friends. You're going to the source of life within you. The breath cares not if you are Christ upon a cross, Buddha cross-legged, cares not. Breath is breath. Breath is the giver of life. Your out-breath is the giver of life to many others, my friends. And it is what keeps you animated, and your consciousness, the more you are aware of that fuel of life, your vehicle, the more your consciousness can connect and be felt. And all around the world, this is happening for many more people, my friends. So, whilst I know it feels dark for you right now, you must know that the true failing will be those who try desperately to prevent nature taking its course. And nature must take its course. Consciousnesses of this world you occupy and its frequency must rise and become more profound upon how humanity lives. And those changes are happening. That is why others wish to oppress you. But if your consciousness is rising and strong, if you are connected with it, if you are aware of it, you will know no fear. You will not accept any form of oppression, and you will not do as you are told if your consciousness says it's wrong. Each day, my friends, find the time to breathe in life consciously. Try to still your thoughts. Try not to think. and just marvel with each breath in and each breath out. And know that your awareness of this, that you're consciously observing it, will aid your own consciousness, your eternal self, to be far more vocal within your being. Yes. Consciousness is rising all over your planet, not just people, not just the people. Animal kind, plant life, even insects will be affected by the rise of the consciousness of you all. Yes. So, rather than spending time getting annoyed about people whose consciousness seems to be ever so oppressed, spend more time focusing on yours. Because the quicker your consciousness rises, the quicker other people around you's consciousness will rise. And the quicker you will all influence others and each other. And your oppressors will have no choice but to crumble. Rather than preaching at people about what they're doing wrong, not getting correct, focus on consciousness. Focus on raising that energy, that bringing yourself closer to it. Encourage them to move in that direction rather than telling them what they're doing wrong. Rather than reacting with aggression from yourself, only to create an aggressive response. You must, in my view, start creating a more loving response from people, even though you don't agree with them. Because by raising their consciousness, they too will benefit, and you will awaken a light, a sense of light within those people. This is the true mission of all of those in the past who've gone before you. All of those great teachers and seers, prophets of the past, the great ones, not the useless ones who no one recalls, but the great ones. And many other great ones who did not go down in history. They taught you to breathe, to meditate, yes, but simply to be aware of the life's breath in and out, nothing more. And as they told you, they would hear the words of God. Well, they truly have heard the words of their own consciousness, the voice of God within and without. Focus on your breathing, control your breathing at times of negativity. Be aware of your breath always. Focus on it, meditate upon it. Be aware of it during your day, when you are happy or sad, when you are excited. Observe your breath, learn to realize that it is there. The more you do, the greater your consciousness will rise, for it is the key to connecting to your consciousness, truly feeling your consciousness, which is always there, waiting to be found, waiting to be recognized. You will find it through the path of your breath. I'm going to leave you for a few moments, my friends. Please take a few moments to watch your breath. And for now, continue on, and I will bid you good night, but you need not reply, my friends. I shall leave you where you are, and we will speak again. Flatfoot, for the final time, comes to bless you all with the love, the joy of the Great Spirit, that you will walk forward from this place with love and joy and life emanating through you. Flatfoot now says bye-bye.